everyone, today I have a really exciting first impressions review of the new L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know I am the biggest fan of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation, and when I saw this was coming out, I was so excited because I'm just so in love with the formula of this. I do have oily skin, so I'm very excited to see how this is going to last on me. As I said, this is one of my holy grail foundations. It lasts for hours on me. It just has the most beautiful wear, and I have no complaints about this foundation, but I do like a radiant, healthy looking foundation, so hopefully this is going to be able to hold up on me. But if it doesn't, I'm not going to like blame the company or blame the product and hate the product, because I know that this is intended for dry to normal skin, and I'm on the opposite side of the spectrum. Like, I have combination to oily skin, so it's very likely that this won't work out, but I'm definitely going to give it my best shot. I just primed my skin with a mattifying primer. This is a Smashbox Photo Finish foundation primer, very mattifying. I'm going to be setting my face with a setting spray and powder, just to really give this a good shot. I know in my other first impressions review of the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream, I didn't really set my face or with a powder or a setting spray. I don't think I primed my face either because I wanted to just see how the foundation would last, but that was supposed to be a matte BB cream, so I thought it was going to be able to hold up by itself. But this is really, it says right on the packaging that it's a radiant finish meant for normal to dry skin. It's hydrating, so I want to give this like a fighting chance to like last on my skin, so I'm going to be helping it out with a primer, powder, and a setting spray, because that's what I would do on a normal basis. So let's see how this wears on me. Actually, before I apply this for the first time, I'm going to just be like telling you guys a little bit about this foundation. So I think it went for about 12 bucks. But you do get a full fluid ounce in here, and same with this one. And this Pro Matte foundation has lasted me over a year, so you definitely get your money's worth in it. I got mine in the shade 203, so hopefully it will be a good match. It has SPF 15 in here, which is always really good. It says it's up to 24-hour foundation. I don't know who would be wearing their foundation for 24 hours, but it claims to be long wearing. It says it's a lasting glow foundation, never dull, never greasy. It has medium coverage, and the texture is airlight, and it says shake well and dot onto skin in rolling motion for flawless coverage. I don't really know what rolling motion is, but we'll test it out. So just by shaking it up, I can hear that it's very liquidy inside, which I kind of like in a foundation. Okay, just shook that up, and I'm going to be applying it to the back of my hand. Yeah, I can definitely see it. This is a lot liquidier than the Pro Matte. This has a much more thicker consistency. Yeah, I can just see that it's dripping a little bit when I just move my hand. So I'm just going to dot this onto my skin as the instructions said. I don't know what they meant in a rolling motion, like rolling like that. I don't really like to do that. I'm just going to dot it around a little bit, and then I'm going to take my damp Real Techniques makeup sponge and pat that in. I'm going to try this with a makeup sponge on one half of my face, and then a Real Techniques buffing brush on the other side. So far the color looks pretty good for my skin tone. I'm just going to go right in with the foundation right on the makeup sponge. That's how I usually like to apply my foundations or BB creams. I just like to put it on right with the makeup sponge. Yeah, so right off the bat, amazing coverage. It doesn't surprise me because I love the coverage of the Pro Matte foundation, but wow. I mean, that covered up my acne scars really, really well. First layer, beautiful, beautiful coverage. You can kind of see just slightly my acne scars through the foundation, so I'm going to try to build it up, see if it's buildable. Yeah, definitely buildable. I'm very impressed right off the bat. Wow. I mean, it's not like over dewy, but you can definitely see that it has glow to it. It feels a little sticky, but we'll see how it feels in about a minute from now. I feel like it's going to set down. That was really impressive. I feel like I barely used any product to cover that entire half of my face. And then I'm just going to take some on my Real Techniques buffing brush and see how this works. Yeah, I think I said buffing brush. This is the expert face brush, not the buffing brush. With every foundation I use, I always like using my makeup sponge better, and I think that's going to be the case for this one as well. I don't know if I'm using it wrong. I'm just trying to buff it into my skin, but it just doesn't look as good as this side. I feel like I'm using more product this way. Yeah, it just looks kind of streaky. I'm just going to go back to using my makeup sponge. I like it so much better. So far, so good. I am very, very impressed. I do notice that it does emphasize my texture around my cheeks a little bit, probably because it is a more radiant foundation, but I mean, I do have bumps on my skin. It's not like a foundation is going to completely hide that, but most other foundations kind of smooths over it more than emphasizes it, if that makes any sense. I'm just going to go back with a little bit more just so I can blend that onto my neck and cover other places just a little bit more. Yeah, the color match was absolutely perfect, so I'm very happy with my selection with that. But yeah, so far I'm very happy with it, besides the emphasis of texture, but that's not really a deal breaker. It might get a little bit better when I set it all down with powder and a setting spray. But yeah, I'm going to call that my first application. Right off the bat, very pleased with it. I don't know how it's going to wear throughout the day, so I will check in with you guys after I apply the rest of my makeup, and I will do a few more check-ins throughout the day to see how it's holding up and if it's breaking down with my oils, all that good stuff. So I will check in with you guys very soon. So I just got done applying the rest of my makeup. Everything applied pretty smoothly on top of the foundation. I still do notice emphasis of texture around my cheeks, especially just the raised bumps from my skin. I do notice that that's kind of emphasized, and also the larger pores in my cheek areas. So I mean, that's not the end of the world for me. I mean, I do have texture on my skin, and there's not really much a foundation can do to hide that. I do notice that the foundation's still a little sticky. It's not so much glowy anymore, and it does have a little bit of luminosity to it, but I did set it down with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder, so that is a mattifying powder, and MAC Fix Plus. So I didn't really expect there to be much of a glow left. I mean, I set it down with a mattifying powder for a reason, but there is definitely some radiance left to it. It looks very healthy, very nice. So far so good. It is a little after 12 o'clock right now. I forgot to tell you guys earlier that when I first applied it, it was about 11:30, so we're going to be going off of that time. So I'll probably do my next check-in around 3:30, about 4 hours into the wear of that foundation, and we will see how everything is holding up. Okay, so it is a little after 3:30, so we're a little past the 4-hour mark. And I'm gonna be honest, my oils are breaking through. I mean, I felt it like 2 hours into the wear. It just is very, very oily, especially around my cheeks, my forehead, and a little bit on my nose. I don't really get greasy on my chin, but my T-zone from my lips up is a disaster right now. I mean, you can definitely see that the parts of my face that are normal and not so oily are looking great. So it is pretty apparent to me that this is going to be perfect for those of you who have dry and normal skin. I think this is going to be perfect for my mom. I think I'm going to give this foundation to her after this test run because I'm just not feeling it right now. I'm going to actually powder my face just in my T-zone a little bit. Once my oils break through and I just get oily once I'm wearing a foundation, it just feels so heavy to me. Like, at this point, I'm dying to get my makeup off because it feels so uncomfortable and just greasy, and I don't like it. I mean, the coverage, again, is so beautiful. I can just tell this is not compatible with oily skin. It just doesn't look great. I mean, it hasn't broken down on the places that I'm oily, but it just doesn't look very good. It's starting to get a little cakey. Especially at my forehead, especially when I like raise my eyebrows, I can just see it just doesn't look good. But as I said, coming into this, I was hoping that this could work if I used a mattifying powder. I set it with a setting spray and I used a mattifying primer, but it just doesn't seem to want to work with that. It really, as the bottle says, it's meant for normal to dry skin. So I obviously can't blame the product or be like, oh, don't buy this. I think, honestly, as I said before, this is going to be perfect for those of you who have normal and dry skin, but oily skin, as of right now, I would steer clear. I don't see this getting any better. I really think I can only tolerate this for like 2 or 3 more hours, so I will do a final check-in, but it's feeling heavy. Like, I can't see this lasting more than 8 hours on me. I really wanted to love it. I was hoping with a mattifying powder, a mattifying primer, and a setting spray, it would work out, but it just doesn't seem to want to work. Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed, but I will do a final check-in and we'll see where we are in a few hours. So it is now 5:30. I'm 6 hours into the wear of this foundation and I'm ready to call it quits. I don't know if you guys can see, I mean the lighting's pretty dark because it is 5:30 and I use natural light, but it's breaking down on me. It's just too greasy at this point. It feels so heavy and uncomfortable and it's just so oily, especially here around my nose, on my nose, and my forehead, and in between my eyebrows. It just looks cakey and it just doesn't look good. So I am calling it at 6 hours. I'm just saying that this foundation is not for a combination to oily skin. I feel like I did everything right here. I used a mattifying primer, I used a mattifying powder, I also did another layer of powder when I was at the 4-hour mark, and still it's not looking really cute. It's not my cup of tea. So I think L'Oreal did the right thing by releasing a Pro Matte and a Pro Glow. I mean, these are definitely, like, the Pro Matte works so beautifully on oily skin. I can't even recommend this foundation enough. I've used it for special occasions. I've worn it for at least 12 hours and it still looks really, really good at the end of that really long period of time. And the Pro Glow, it's meant for dry skin. It says it right on the packaging, so I think this is better if you just stick to your separate foundation. Pro Matte for combination to oily skin, Pro Glow for dry to normal skin. I really wanted to like it because I really do like a radiant foundation, not just a flat, matte, boring foundation. I really like my skin to look healthy and radiant, but it just didn't work out for me. So I think if you have dry or normal skin, go for it, girl. I'm sure you're gonna love this. And if you have combination to oily skin, again, I cannot recommend this Pro Matte foundation enough. So that is it for this first impressions review. I hope you guys liked this video and found it helpful. If you did like it, then give it a big thumbs up and also comment down below what other videos you want to see from me and also other products you want me to review. And of course, subscribe if you're not subscribed. So thank you guys so much for watching this video and I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye guys.